Want to give Ohio State a ton of credit. I'm not sure. We'll watch the tape. I'm not sure if we didn't just watch two of the best teams in college football. Obviously, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. But you got to give them credit. We went into this knowing that we needed to have an awareness and affect and limit the impact. Thank you. Of 18 in the game. We had a hard time doing that. Guy's a heck of a player. You got to give him a lot of credit. But to me, really, the story of the game came down to third down. We weren't able to stay on the field on third down on offense, which was the biggest difference in the game, in my opinion. So give Ohio State a ton of credit. Open up to questions.
Start with Rich and then go to David.
James, was about 8 minutes left. You have the ball at 43. Why did you decide to go for it on 4th down?
Yeah, at that point right there, if you punt, and they obviously able to run the game out, you feel like you have to be aggressive. You may not get the ball back. We needed to be aggressive in that situation. Obviously, when you don't pick it up, it's not the right decision.
Dave and Sauber.
It's probably not the right moment to ask a big picture question. I'm sensitive to that. But is it unfair for people to judge this rivalry, the 1-9 in your regime, as a referendum on you overall? Because I think they might. And that's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah, I totally get it. That's a good football team. You know, what I'll talk about is today. We lost to a really good football team on the road. We had our chances. We battled. We weren't able to capitalize. Big picture things, I'll be happy to talk about that at some point. But right now I want to talk about we lost to a really good football team on the road, didn't make enough plays when we needed to make the plays. And I think it's a fair question. I get the question, but right now I'm worried about this game.
You're not going to answer it. Give me one more, okay? Do you think –
I did answer. I didn't answer the way you wanted me to, but go ahead.
I think it's a non-answer, but anyway, do you think your wideouts in your passing game was good enough to win this game against this defense?
No.
Why?
We didn't make enough plays today. Did not make enough plays in the passing game. We weren't able to create separation. We weren't able to create separation with enough time to allow those guys to separate. Combination of all those things.
Sauber then Brennan.
James, how would you evaluate your offensive play calling today? Your team offensive play calling.
Yeah, I think we were at a one-possession game, so I feel like we could have ran the ball a little bit more, but we'll evaluate all those things on Sunday.
Brennan then Johnny.
James, how would you evaluate Drew's play in this environment?
Yeah, I think all year long we've called the game and managed the game to put him in the best situation to be successful, and we weren't able to do that today for a number of reasons. But we'll look at it. We'll see what the run pass percentage is, especially when you take the 2-minute situations at the end of the game out of there, and see what those numbers look like and what the efficiency was.
Johnny then Donnie.
On the defense, James, you guys have a 4th and goal stop. You made some plays on that end of the ball. Do you feel like the way they played enough to deserve a win?
Our defense played extremely well. So did theirs. We knew coming into this game, these are two of the better defenses in college football. They played their tails off. There's no doubt about it.
Donnie then Audrey.
James, the scoop and score that got overturned, obviously a big turning point. What was the sense on the sideline of that? Did you get kind of an explanation on the timing of the whole?
Yeah, they called holding, defensive holding. Obviously, that's a huge play in the game, huge momentum play in the game, and then I think after that followed up with another interference call. But that was obviously significant. But for me to sit here and talk about how that call looked, I couldn't tell you. I just know what they told us.
Audrey then Ron.
James, in the first quarter, you guys had 3rd and 1. It looked, Drew came up to the line. Did he audible out of the run there, or what? Because then he passed it as incompletion that you guys took the time on.
You talking about on the 4th down call or the 3rd down call?
The 4th down, I'm sorry. Well, you guys, 3rd down, you had it, and then Drew came up to the line. And
Yeah, just checking the protection.
Okay, so the plan was to pass. He didn't audible.
Correct.
Ron.
Coach Franklin, you guys talk about confidence
Well, I think first of all, obviously, on third down, we got to be better, and we've done a pretty good job of that all year long. We did not do a good job of that today. They played some zero hole on us, and we got to be willing to throw it over their heads in those situations and take some shots and be aggressive. But you got to give them credit.
Calista in the back.
Coach, given the throws in the passing game and separation that you referenced, is there any thought or consideration to maybe get Old Bull in the game to have a bigger dynamic at quarterback spot?
Yeah, I think, again, at this stage, it was a one-possession game. It felt like we were in it. So to make that type of change, I don't know if that's the right thing to do for our locker room. I don't know if that's necessarily fair, to Drew.
Any other questions? Logie, and then Clay, or, Risky.
James, coming out of the on loan, special teams play that you made, you went to Keandre with what was the look there in that moment that led you to call that play?
Which?
After the recovered the punt.
Yeah.
Went to like that option pass that Keandre gave.
Yeah, we tried to call a trick play to get a chance to get a huge momentum play. They covered it. It wasn't there. When you call trick plays and they work, it's a good call. When you call a trick play and it doesn't work and they got it covered, then obviously it's good on their part.
Ryan, Risky in the back, and then Corey.
James, you have the 116 on third down. What led them to struggle time on third down?
Well, I think the combination of too many third and longs, obvious passing downs, which obviously you want to stay out of and manage. But even when we did have some short yardage situations, they were playing cover zero. We felt like coming into this game, this was one of the better short yardage defenses that we had seen on film. They had a good plan and they executed it well.
Corey, and then Green.
James, where would you say you are with your wide receiver development, getting those guys separation?
Yeah. Obviously, again, when you look at today and the combination of lack of success on third down and lack of explosive plays, we got to look at that hard. I think there's some things that we can do in terms of how we're calling the plays. And I think there's some things that we need to do from a fundamental standpoint. There's no doubt about it. But Drew needs some guys to make some plays for him on a more consistent basis. There's no doubt about that.
You can identify yourself.
Jimmy Watkins, Cleveland.com. Following up on that, you talked about 18 kind of player he is. Who do you guys look to be those guys who can make plays quickly when you guys need it?
Yeah, obviously Keandre is kind of our most veteran guy. Same thing with Trey. Trey's been out for a couple weeks, had him back. Our tight end unit's been able to do that at times, but I think their combination of man coverage and the pressures they were bringing, they were getting there a half second before we were able to get open, and we weren't able to make plays in those scenarios.
Last two will go Sauber and then with Rich.
James, Drew obviously had a lot of success on that late 2-minute drive. How much of that was them just kind of backing off and giving you guys some chunks, or was there something fundamental that changed late in the game?
I think it was a combination of we made some throws and we made some plays in that situation. I also think they were playing softer coverage, knowing that it now had become a really a two-score game. It was a combination of those things.
Rich.
James, on that 72-yard punt, did Daquan explain to you why he was not able to field the ball because he lost significant yards on that and it sort of swung the field position in Ohio State's favor?
Yeah, it was a big play in the game. I didn't have the time to talk to him, right after that play. Obviously, we're going to offense. That's also obviously not a time to kind of get into that conversation with him right after. Obviously, he would have done something different. He didn't need me to point that out.